Hey, what's up, everybody? Have you wanted to explore the magic of Hyrule on an arcade stick? Me neither. I had no clue of how fun it would be until we actually created a way to play almost any game on a traditional style arcade stick. Not only is it possible to walk, run, shoot, strafe, climb, do anything on an arcade stick, it feels nostalgic like you're playing on an arcade controller, which is the whole point and why it's so fun. So I was more focused on getting a better Electric Wind God Fist and getting a um, competing and fighting games when Mr. Smashbox Devs, our resident genius, came up with this fantastic way to play almost any single player game or really just any game on an arcade stick and not have it be a terrible frustrating experience, which is what you would expect on a arcade controller. Is traditionally you cannot play these games on arcade stick. This is a lever. This is a Sanwa Japanese arcade cabinet lever, meaning it's all digital directions. So it's either run or not run, on, off. Holding down this modifier lets us walk in any direction we want. If I wanted to go from analog stick to D-pad, traditionally on an arcade stick, I would have to flip a switch to go from LS for left stick to RS for right stick, and then I would finally be able to move the camera. And then I would have to go flick it back to LS, switch, and then I'd be able to run again. Oh, but I want to look that way. Stop, flick the switch, and then go right switch, flick it back, run. You get the idea. It's frustrating and you can't do it. It's not designed to play games like this on an arcade stick. It's designed just to play old school games. But now, with the clever use of these new button layouts and tools, you can make any game feel old school and like you're playing on an arcade stick. And it all actually feels really good and has its own specific advantages. So if you want, check out this button layout, pause the video and look at it. I'm going to go over it with you. But the main new tools we have to play with is LS to D-pad and the little Walkman. That's what makes me walk. And then the camera button. So I'm going to go over these and I'm going to kind of show you how to use them and basically orient you on what it's like to explore Hyrule on an arcade stick, because who knew? So let's talk about the walk button first, as I showed you. If you hold it down, it makes you go from run to walk. So if I press it by itself, it doesn't do anything. That's because it's a modifier. It makes me go from fully tilted forward to partially tilted forward. So this is super useful for stealth, especially if I'm holding crouch. Or if I'm in crouch mode, now I can sneak up, catch bugs, stab a guy in the back, whatever you want to do with stealth mechanics. And just walking by itself is super useful for navigating ledges and what have you. This one up here, it's another modifier. It's left stick to D-pad. So instead of being a left stick and me switching it to D-pad, I hold this down. Now it is a D-pad, so I can change weapons or my runes. And this is L and this is R. So if I hold this down, I can now navigate and change all my weapons, shields, what have you. The big one is the camera mode. This is what makes the whole deal happen. It's also a modifier. It changes it from left stick to right stick, which is how you control the camera. However, the twist on this is it seizes your analog input. So let's say I'm running forward, and now I'm going to hold camera mode. So now I continue to run forward, and whichever way I change the camera, Link will continue to run. So now if I gotta run across the country, I can just put a stack of quarters on here and I can keep running and we'll always be at the fastest possible speed forward. Also, the camera mode, as you can see, instead of these really fast sweeping shots, because I play on fast camera mode, if I press the walk button modifier, it's now a very slow and epic sweeping shot. So this is very useful when I pull out my bow, because let's face it, you're going to want to get ahead of your target by using full tilt. But if you want to actually get that headshot, it's sorry, Ruto. It's so much better to actually, I do way better on that than aiming with a Joy-Con because maybe I'm just a little too old school for my own good. But this is a way easier aim for me to do. So, and then that's it in a nutshell. So whether I'm running left and I hold the camera mode, I can now run, and then I'm always checking my right shoulder so I can see if I'm running, parallel, like, okay, there's a Wizrobe over there, so I'm going to run left, and now I can circle the Wizrobe and keep my eye on him while I'm continuing to run forward. I can do the same thing by running to the upright. If I want to check this way, I can run towards the camera. Pretty much you have full control over whatever you're doing. Whenever you run, it's going to seize whatever you are going with the left stick and allow you to continue running that direction while you move the right stick. And then that naturally orients Link to keep an eye on this Wizrobe. Oh, he saw me, so let's run this way and keep an eye on where he's bouncing. And then I'm going to pull out my bow and shoot him. Where you at? Where you at? Got him. So then I would go around, pull out my sword. Well, let's fight him. Why not? So let's run over. Let's see where he's at. So now I'm going to run to the right again until he resurfaces. Okay, there he is. Pull out my bow. No, he disappeared. Let's Z target so I know where he's at. So there he is. Wow, he summons bats. I love this game. By the way, this is my first playthrough, so don't spoil it. Let's see, where's he at? This way. Oh, there he is. So I'm gonna run. I'm gonna dodge this. I'm gonna pull out my bow. See where he's going. Cancel my bow. Run this way. Dodge it. See, you can actually orient yourself really well and then get a really fine aimed shot with the bow. And then I'm gonna pull out my sword and beat him down as soon as I stun him. I didn't expect to be actually fighting a guy. I'm just trying to show you the controls, but got the headshot. Pull out my sword. Fight him. Take his magic rod if I wanted to, so I can, press start. Use the right stick to fastly move through all my inventory stuff. Let's just, for example, let's drop this nice broadsword. Pick up the ice rod. There we go. You get the idea. So you can play Zelda really well on a stick. I've gotten this far. I put out a video last week of me fighting my first Lionel. I think I had like 4 hearts by then. I kind of got addicted to this game since then. I didn't realize how much I love this game. Part of this fight was me, I just ran here with trash gear and just wanted to fight an actual matchup. And I learned a lot, just how I can cancel the bow and do a backflip immediately on stick, and parrying is super easy to do. It turns these otherwise, simple mechanics like dodge and backflip and stuff, and turns them into Street Fighter links. It's really easy to switch weapons, way easier. Yeah, on the other side of this, we're really happy how it turned out. I get to play Zelda on a joystick and have it feel good. That was the thing we didn't know if we could pull off on the start of this, is if we could actually make it work, and then if it would actually feel good enough to where I would want to finish this game. And happy to say, I'm going to go climb Death Mountain and see what's up with that giant salamander up there. There's not just Zelda, Breath of the Wild. We've got dozens of profiles that came with a 3D update, and then we're going to keep making more of these. So be the first person to ever play a game on an arcade stick. Let us know what button layout you come up with. Let me know if you actually have a better layout than what I've come up with for all these games. I'm super happy with my Breath of the Wild layout. I think you should definitely give it a shot. But it's just a new frontier. It's basically exploring Hyrule's a microcosm for just exploring gaming on a joystick. It actually feels that good and that interesting. So I hope you check it out. I hope you really enjoy trying the 3D update. There's that salamander. I'm gonna go check it out. But yeah, I've prattled on long enough. So let me know what games you want to see, what games you're playing, and most of all, have fun.